Hello and welcome everyone. This is Matt from the Parachute Vision Zero Network, and I'm really excited today. We have Heather Woods-Fry from the Traffic Injury Research Foundation, otherwise known as TIRF. And if you don't know anything about them, they are a fantastic organization. We do a lot of work with them. They actually are a charitable independent road safety research institute, world renowned for their work in research, programming, and policy development. Heather is no slouch herself. She has a PhD in psychology, fully bilingual, focusing on many research topics in her work with TIRF, including drug-impaired driving, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And I must say, also very progressive on the tech side, Heather. I know you're doing some wonderful work in terms of your evaluations of a mobile app that actually uses crowdsourced data from citizens to map cycling collisions, which is very, very interesting. But what we're going to be talking about today is this newly launched Drug-Impaired Driving Learning Centre, which is a fabulous resource. I've been on it. Heather actually has agreed to come on today, talk about the resource, and sort of walk us through some of the key aspects of it. So, Heather, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, great! It's our pleasure. I think when I went on that resource, I found immediately I was like, wow, this has so much great information in one spot, so many different things I can access. But I was wondering if you could sort of take us back, sort of the beginnings. I know you were sort of the brainchild around this project. What was really the purpose in developing this resource, and what sort of gaps were you trying to address?
So the main purpose of this resource was to share knowledge and to increase awareness about the priority topics surrounding drug-impaired driving. And not only that, but to inform the development of evidence-based drug-impaired driving strategies. And research on drug-impaired driving is actually happening at an unprecedented pace. And it's sometimes hard for policymakers and road safety stakeholders to keep abreast of the new and upcoming research. So the purpose of the Drug-Impaired Driving Learning Centre is to consolidate all this research and to offer a user-friendly, accessible resource for road safety stakeholders and policymakers alike.
Yeah, I think it does that. I mean, in just looking at it, and you mentioned some of the different target audiences that would sort of benefit from this. I know Parachute, we do a lot of work in education. We're starting to push pretty hard on policy work as well, and do a lot of great communications. And so we have our feet in a few different ponds. Um, would you say there's a particular target group that would benefit more or than say another group, or is this like sort of a comprehensive resource that you think covers sort of all aspects of sort of the field of drug impaired driving?
So this is really a comprehensive resource for all road safety stakeholders, policymakers, government, also practitioners and public alike. It's just a comprehensive, user-friendly resource that offers information in a consolidated form to inform policymaking decisions and future research alike.
Great. Why don't we pull it up right now? Maybe you could walk us through the resource and show us some of the key maybe the key things that relate to maybe cannabis impaired driving, as that's a really big focus, obviously moving forward for a lot of people, and one of what our new release is all about here at the Parachute Vision Zero Network. So Heather is actually going to share her screen with us and maybe walk us through.
So the Drug-Impaired Driving Learning Centre actually has 4 modules. We have one at the end, Prevention and Education, which is up and coming. However, the 4 main modules that are currently available on the Drug-Impaired Driving Learning Centre are the problem, which essentially profiles the magnitude, the characteristics, and the perceptions of the public towards drug-impaired driving. The next module is the effects of drugs on driving, the impairing effects that various drugs can have on driving. Third module is laws and penalties, which actually provides information on the laws and penalties for drug impaired driving in different countries. And the fourth module profiles the tools and technologies that exist to detect drug impaired drivers.
Yeah, that's really, really helpful information. And I noticed that there was an international scope to your website, which I think really strengthens it. And it got me thinking about other websites as well. I know there's a lot of work being done in this space, as you said, a lot of people producing information and resources, but I don't feel that there's the type of synthesis going on that I see here. I know you've sort of structured some resources as well, sort of in the model of like an FAQ style.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can
So,
maybe walk us through sort of the thinking on that.
sure. The modules are arranged in question and answer format, and you can click on whichever question that pertains to your research. For example, if you click on one of the questions, it will bring you to the answer, and it will also provide you with the resources that were used to create that answer.
Right, just a click away, which is great. So it's like it's less scrolling almost, which is just it's kind of click and go.
Exactly.
Yeah, very intuitive. Now, where would people go to find information on cannabis?
So that would be in the second module, where each of the 7 category of drugs is profiled. You would go to the question and answer tab, and you would go to the cannabis section right there, and you would have 5 or 6 questions on what cannabis is, how frequently it's detected in drivers, what are the impairing effects on drivers.
It's like very, very helpful, I think, useful information to have just at a click away. And then there was also a resource page. Maybe just the last thing you could sort of show us.
Sure. So the resources are the external resources that we used to build this site. And all of the documents are hyperlinked on this page. And in addition to that, we have a download section, drug impaired driving in various areas of the world. And we also have fact sheets on the different drug types and how they can affect driving.
Oh, thank you so much for walking us through this, Heather. It's really, really useful stuff. I know just personally, I've relied on the Traffic Injury Research Foundation for many different fact sheets. I think that's one thing you do really, really well. Again, it's that knowledge translation that people are looking for because there's a lot of research going on, but also a lot of misconceptions about cannabis. And having one place to go with all the facts and information is so, so helpful. Why don't we just bring it back here and wrap it up here with a question on what you think the next steps are for this resource and where is TIRF heading sort of in this general direction of drug-impaired driving?
Yes, so the next steps for this resource is actually to complete the 5th module on prevention and education. So this will profile the different educational campaigns around the world and how to best reach different populations to ensure that everybody is well educated on the effects of drugs on driving.
That's a big challenge. I know the education piece is tough, but it's much, much needed. That is something we continually work on with our partners. I know part of the series that we're releasing on Cannabis Now includes a drug-impaired driving infographic that looks to dispel some of the youth perceptions on cannabis and drug impairment, which is a huge issue. So best of luck to you in these research endeavors, and congratulations on your new website. For those, again, interested in checking out the website, please visit the URL at the bottom of the screen here. And also, feel free to hit us up here at the Parachute Vision Zero Network. If you haven't already signed up to become a member, please do. It's visionzeronetwork.ca. And if you sign up, you'll get videos like these and other fabulous resources straight to your inbox, which is, just what we want. And of course, let us know what you think. Hit us up on social. We're at ParachuteVZ. And we love to hear your thoughts and feelings on these types of resources and the great work that TIRF is doing. Heather, thanks again for joining us. Everyone, drive carefully and get home safe.